Gemara says, Rabbi Akiva says, one time he had 24,000 students. It's a lot more students than any yeshiva in the world. But one time he noticed that one of his students hasn't shown up for a few days. He asked a few of the other students, do you know where he is? No. You didn't ask? Nothing? No, we haven't seen him in a few days. Where to go? Rabbi Akiva himself stopped everything he was doing, went to the guy's house. He's a grown man. Went to his house, he saw him by himself, literally dying. He was so sick and sad that no one came to visit him that he was dying. Rabbi Akiva started cleaning his house, started giving him chizuk and so on and so forth. And then he came, and the guy was so enamored by that Rabbi Akiva, the Rosh Yeshiva, the biggest yeshiva in history, came to his house, is cleaning his house, cooking, cleaning, giving him a personal shiur. He cares so much about him that he went to visit him, that Rabbi Akiva saw him stand up and mamash become healthy in front of him. After he saw this, he went back to his yeshiva of 24,000 students, and he said, there's an halakha, I haven't taught you well. What's the halakha? Someone who does not visit a sick person might as well have killed him. It's as if you killed him. Why? Because sometimes a person is sick physically, sometimes a person is sick emotionally, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's both. He starts physically, she starts physically, she's not showing up to work, to school, to something for a week, 2 weeks. It's not like a cold. 2 days, okay, you're back. She's out of commission, like you said, your son, Shem Yachem, 9 months. It's a long time. No one calls, no one writes, no one visits, especially the teachers. That makes the person even sicker. Why? Because they start thinking to themselves, what should I live for? No one cares about me anyway. I go to school with all these people, and no one cares, no one's visiting me, no one's writing. Even my teacher who said that he likes me, obviously he doesn't like me enough because I haven't shown up. He doesn't like me that much. He doesn't even notice that I'm there. You start losing your own will to live to some extent. Rabbi Akiva says that's almost like you murdered him by not visiting him. So on that aspect, you are 100% right. They made a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I'm not saying they're supposed to come to your house every day and bake you cookies, but to visit, to call, to write, to do something, that's a responsibility of any Jew. Needless to say, a Rosh Yeshiva that learns Torah and other teachers. So on that aspect of it, that you are disgusted by it, you're right. So is Rabbi Akiva, and so is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is disgusted by people that forget to actually fulfill the Torah that they're teaching. Fulfill the Torah that they're learning. If you're not going to fulfill it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if you're going to teach something, but you yourself are not going to do it, the Gemara says it was better off you would have been strangled by your mother's umbilical cord and never came to the world. Charif. Mamash, like HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates such things. Being hypocrites, especially when it comes to Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is disgusted by it. So on that aspect of it, you are 100% right. Where are you wrong? You're wrong in the aspect where you simply decided that yeshivot are this. That this is the representation of the Torah. That the Torah, if you do this, the yeshivot, you learn Torah, that's what you're going to get. And that is the mistake. That's the mistake. Now it all depends on who you said it to, whether you said it in your mind, or you said it to people, or you said it to your son, or you said it to your friends. The more people you share this information with, and you don't have to tell me, the more you have to fix. But the good news is that fixing it, we just have the solution. Solution is you have to take advantage of this free gift HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us, which is Kiddush Hashem. Help people do tshuva. Every time you bring another boy, another girl, another friend of yours, another cousin, another sister, anyone, you bring them to the shiur, they hear something, they're going to start taking on mitzvot, you just made Hashem's name much more special. You're fixing that damage. Now, once you see how great that is for your life in general, you're not going to want to stop. Why? Because not only are you fixing the damage that you made, that you know about, and that you don't know about, but it's actually fun to do. You start seeing somebody come in with shorts and a tank top. 6 months later, the Talmid Yeshiva with a kippah, got a little jacket on, tiny little beard. He's happy to be a Jew suddenly. A father sent me a message today. He says to me, Baruch Hashem, his 3 sons have been learning our shurim. His 3 sons have been learning our shurim. He says, life has changed in the last 6 months. one kid decided to go from nothing. He's in yeshiva right now in Eretz Yisrael. 6 months. 6 months, he decided to go from nothing to be in yeshiva. Yeshiva right now, he's learning like Rav Moshe Feinstein. He's learning like Rabbi Akiva. He's learning Torah every day and night in Eretz Yisrael. Another kid is on his way to becoming a big rabbi. Third one, Baruch Hashem, is keeping Torah and mitzvot. He says the house has changed, the environment has changed. I'm getting nachat for my kids. Why? They're watching Shiurei Torah. So imagine whoever shared the first shiur with these kids, how much their schar is. Why? Because every single mitzvah these 3 boys ever do for the rest of their life goes to their account. The first person that gave him a CD, first person that invited him to a shiur, first person that showed him the link, first person that did it, told him, listen to this guy, he's a little scary at first, but you'll like him. Next thing you know, these kids are blooming into tzaddikim. Every single mitzvah that they ever do, every time they put on tefillin, every time they keep Shabbat, every time they say a bracha, every time they say thank you, every time they give tzedakah, every single mitzvah they ever do. And on top of it, every mitzvah their kids do. Every mitzvah their grandkids will do. Every mitzvah their great-grandkids will, for the eternity, goes to the account of the person that introduced them, our shiurim. Such a reward you cannot buy with money. You can't imagine, you can't fathom how great this is. Why? Because what did you do at the end? You simply returned HaKadosh Baruch Hu's 3 kids back to him. You know how long he's been looking for them? I'll tell you exactly. 3,330 years. Since Mount Sinai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is looking in the streets for them. Why? They were at Mount Sinai. They're like all of us. They said, Na'aseh v'nishma. But then they decided not to. They went off the derech. They went up to Shamayim. Hashem says, you failed. I have to bring you back. Another life. Failed again. I should go up to Hashem. Hashem in His mercy says, you failed again. I got to bring you back. Another Gilgul, another reincarnation. For the last 3,300 years, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is crying like a father looking for his babies in the streets. What'd you do? You said, Abba, is this your kid too? Yeah. How'd you know? Yeah. He looks just like you. I've been looking for him for 3,000 years. You returned him and 2 of his brothers. Imagine how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves you now. He loved you already, but imagine how much more He loves you now. Why? You showed Him how much you love Him by caring about His other kids. You returned His kids that He's been looking for 3,000 years. And Rabotai, I'm going to tell you something extra. This is the last Gilgul. This was the last chance. The Steipler Gaon already said over 50 years ago, anyone that's alive right now, this is his last chance. There's no more reincarnation. We're out of time. Mashiach is here. No one is going to have enough time to die and then come back again. Right now. We're here. Meaning, it's not so easy to do tshuva. Tshuva is not, I just decide I'm going to keep Shabbat and I'm finished. You have to change your life. You have to change your character traits. You have to start doing stuff. Doing tshuva is a lifelong task. So if somebody lives their life, Hashem Yachem, they're already 20, 30, 40 years old, they waste another 20 years of doing absolutely nothing, they die. Okay, Hashem says, listen, there's a lot of people ahead of you. There's a lot of people ahead of you that I promised them they're going to have one last chance. You have to wait until all of them get their last chance. The Steipler Gaon says, everyone is on their last chance. Everyone is on their last chance. This is an opportunity for every single human being, not just the Jew, every human being to do tshuva. So imagine, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has been crying his heart out for 3,330 years to look for his 3 boys, to look for his 3 girls, to look for millions of Jews, his kids. He's been crying for 3,000 years, and you decided that it's important to you to help Hashem find his kids. And you actually succeed. And Hashem says to you, not only did you succeed, you were the last hope. If it wasn't for you bringing them to the shiur, if it wasn't for you helping them do tshuva, unfortunately, they would have been lost permanently. Hashem Yirachem. That's the magnitude of how much kiruv is worth in this generation. This is why anyone that's wise simply invest their time doing kiruv in any way, shape, or form. If you have money, you donate money. These lectures are free, but they cost money. There's employees. We don't eat man from Shamayim, Baruch Hashem, not yet. It costs money. Employees, the videos, the cameras, all the different stuff costs money. If you have money, you don't work for free like me, then you can donate. You don't have any money, you're barely making it, no problem. You can make cookies. You get some dough for a few dollars, you make a cookie. You have more than that, you could also invite people. That's what the girls in the back are doing. They're inviting their friends, they're inviting their community. Whether they listen or not is not your business. You try. You try. A woman asked me the other day, she heard in a shiur that the Gemara says, Nashim, women, what do they go to Gan Eden for? What do they go to Gan Eden for? They don't learn Torah like guys. At least they're not supposed to. Supposed to learn the basics, but they're not obligated to learn Torah Yomam Valayla. They're supposed to know the basics. In this generation, the basics is already a lot. But the point is that what do women go to Gan Eden for? So the Gemara says they go to Gan Eden for sending their husband to Shiur Torah, to learn Torah, and for sending their kids to learn Torah. That's what they go to Gan Eden for. So a woman asked me, she's like, listen, I have a problem. What's the problem? Okay, my kids, I'm sending them to yeshiva, but my husband, he doesn't want to learn. He wants to be an Amaretz. He wants to watch sports. He wants to hang out with his friends. He doesn't want to learn. I tell him, come, he doesn't want to go. So what, I'm not going to go to Gan Eden because of my Batlan husband? That's not fair. I'm doing mitzvot. I have my hair covered. I Shabbat. I make 18 dishes, salads, this, that. Not even catering. No, so how come I'm not going to go to Gan Eden? It's not fair. So wait, hold on a second. Understand. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, sending them to the shiur, sending them to yeshiva, meaning try your best. He didn't say succeed. He didn't say they go to Gan Eden if their husband turns into a big tzaddik. They go to Gan Eden if their husband turns into a big Talmid Chacham. It doesn't say that. It says they send them to the shiur. They push them to go. How much? Never end. Now a woman says, yeah, I tried a few times. He said no. Now he even argues with me. So what should I do? The answer is again and again. Why? Because you go up to Shamayim, Hashem, you're going to tell Hashem this excuse. You're going to say, listen, Hashem, I told my husband 15 times, go to the shiur, he doesn't want to. So what? What am I going to do? I lived with him for 50, 60 years. He didn't want to go. I asked him 15 times. So Hashem says, okay, you know what? You have a good point. Let's see what else happened in your life. You were married to him for what, 50, 60 years? Okay, so let's see. Oh, you remember when you wanted that new fridge? You remember you wanted that new fridge and your husband says he can't afford it? So you pushed him a little bit. How many times did you ask him for the fridge? Oh, look at that. You asked him almost every day for 6 months. Almost every day for 6 months you mentioned something about this fridge. It's 180 days you asked for the fridge. Oh, yeah, remember when you wanted a new car? Remember? Let's see. 2 years you complained about not having a new car. 2 years. Oh, yeah, you remember the jewelry that you wanted? 5 years you complained that you don't have enough jewelry. The shoes, too much. So how come for the shoes, for the fridge, for the car, for the jewelry, for all the material, you complained to him to no end until you got it? But when it came to spirituality, you tried a few times. He said, no, you gave up on the whole thing. How come? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if you try to send him to the Shiur Torah, to get him to go learn Torah, at least as much as you tried for all the other stuff, then maybe you have a case. But the reality is, that's not true. All of us, when we want something, we don't stop. We don't stop. You have to use your wisdom. As a woman, you have certain part of your wisdom that's much higher than the man. You have certain intuition. You have a sixth sense that men don't have. So you have to use your intuition. What do? You simply tell him, go. He doesn't want to go. Now, you try to entice him with food, with gifts, with all types of things that you can figure and understand that I don't have to explain to you. You try to get him to go to the shiur. Now, that's not enough to go to the shiur. That's not enough. What else? When he comes back from the shiur, you wait for him, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because it's important for you. And you tell him, honey, I waited for you. Look, I made you this food. I figured it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You just came back from learning. You're probably hungry. I made you your favorite dish. Tell me what you learned for 5. Oh, I'm tired, honey. Okay, 2 minutes while you're eating. Okay, I'll tell you while I'm eating. You showed them that this shiur, this Torah, is more important to you than anything else in the world. I don't want another house. I don't want another car. I don't want more jewelry. I want you to go learn Torah. Why? Because when he does all the other stuff, you don't cook him special meals all the time. But if every time he goes to the shiur, you make a special meal, you treat him special, you do nice things, all of a sudden, he feels like he's a king. For what? For learning Torah. Suddenly, he wants to do it. Suddenly, when it's a day off, there's no shiur, you say, honey, can I learn Torah with you? Can we watch the shiur together? Can you pick something? We'll learn together? All of a sudden, you don't want to go to the mall to spend all the money he works hard for. You want to watch the shiur Torah? Guess what? That's going to make him want to do it. Why? Number one, it's cheaper. And number two, it's another way to connect. It's another way to connect. If you care about Torah, you'll find a way to get your husband and kids to want Torah. But when the parents don't care about Torah, what do they expect the kids to do? What do they expect the kids to do? The kids are not going to like Torah. Why? Because the kids try to emulate the parents. So this is why Rabotai Karim, even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu told us that a woman gets to Gan Eden because she sends her husband to Torah, he also knows the power of the woman. And he knows that she can do it, if she really wants to. If Rachel, Rabbi Akiva's wife, can take someone that's completely ignorant and illiterate and turn him into Rabbi Akiva, every woman in this generation can turn her husband into at least a Shomer Torah and Mitzvot. Every woman can turn her husband to somebody that watches a few shiurim each week. Every woman. If you want it. As much as you want jewelry and cars and this and that and all the other stuff. You have to be clever though.